What if the most interesting new SUV for adventure lovers in 2026 isn't coming from Toyota, Ford, or Jeep? The all-new Dacia Bigster Hybrid-G 150 4x4 is stepping into the spotlight with hybrid power, rugged styling, and a price tag that could seriously shake up the market. And honestly, this might be the budget off-roader nobody saw coming. Welcome back to MOTORSCOPE, your source for tomorrow's cars, today. Today, we're taking a closer look at the brand new 2026 Dacia Bigster Hybrid-G 150 4x4. A rugged hybrid SUV designed for drivers who want practicality, efficiency, and real all-terrain capability without paying luxury SUV money. We'll break down the design, interior, performance, tech, expected pricing, and whether this SUV could actually work for American buyers. Stick around until the end because the final verdict may surprise you. The first thing you notice about the new Bigster is just how tough and confident it looks. Dacia clearly wanted this SUV to feel bigger, bolder, and more premium than the Duster, and the result is impressive. Up front, the Y-shaped LED lighting signature gives it a modern identity, while the wide grille and squared-off proportions create a strong road presence. The body lines are clean and muscular, with chunky wheel arches, roof rails, and protective cladding that hint at genuine off-road intentions. It doesn't try too hard to look futuristic, and that's actually part of its appeal. The Bigster feels honest, rugged, and practical. It's the kind of SUV you could take camping on a weekend and still comfortably drive to work on Monday. From the side profile, the longer wheelbase gives the SUV a more upscale stance compared to smaller compact crossovers. Expect wheel options up to around 19 inches, two-tone paint choices, and a range of earthy exterior colors designed to match its adventurous personality. Inside, the 2026 Bigster takes a noticeable step forward in quality and comfort. Dacia has traditionally focused on affordability, but this new model aims to feel much more refined. The dashboard layout is simple, functional, and modern, with a large central infotainment display positioned high for easy visibility. Soft touch materials appear in more areas than before, and the cabin layout focuses heavily on practicality. There's plenty of storage space, wide seats, and enough rear seat room for adults to stay comfortable on long drives. Cargo capacity is also expected to be one of the best in its segment, making the Bigster ideal for road trips, outdoor gear, or family use. One of the standout features is the panoramic roof option, which helps the cabin feel airy and open. Higher trims are expected to include heated seats, dual-zone climate control, wireless smartphone charging, and premium upholstery finishes. It may not reach luxury brand levels, but for the expected price point, the interior punches well above its class. Now let's talk about what makes this model especially interesting. The Hybrid-G 150 powertrain combined with 4x4 capability. Dacia is expected to pair a hybrid-assisted gasoline engine with an electrified setup producing around 150 horsepower. The focus here isn't extreme speed, it's balanced efficiency and usable torque for real-world driving. The hybrid system should improve fuel economy significantly compared to traditional SUVs in this class, while the all-wheel drive system adds confidence on rough roads, snow, mud, or gravel trails. Expect multiple terrain modes and improved traction management for light off-road adventures. Acceleration will likely be smooth rather than sporty, but that fits the personality of the Bigster perfectly. This is an SUV designed for practicality, reliability, and low running costs. And with electrification becoming increasingly important, the hybrid setup could make this one of the smartest value-oriented SUVs in the market. On the technology side, the Bigster is expected to include a fully digital driver display, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, over-the-air software updates, and a customizable infotainment interface. Dacia knows modern buyers expect solid tech. Even in affordable vehicles, safety should also receive a major upgrade. Features like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, emergency braking, rear cross-traffic alert, and traffic sign recognition are all expected to be available. That's a huge step forward for a brand traditionally associated with simplicity and budget-focused transportation. Now here's the big question: will Americans actually get this SUV officially? Dacia still doesn't sell vehicles in the United States. However, growing interest in affordable adventure SUVs could create serious demand if Renault ever decides to expand or rebadge the Bigster for North America. In Europe, pricing is expected to start around the equivalent of $30,000 to $35,000 depending on trim and drivetrain options. If it ever reached the American market at that price, it could seriously undercut competitors while offering impressive practicality and hybrid efficiency. The expected global release date points toward late 2025 or early 2026, with deliveries beginning shortly after in European markets. So, what's the verdict on the 2026 Dacia Bigster Hybrid-G 150 4x4? Honestly, this SUV could become one of the smartest value-focused hybrids on the market. The exterior design looks rugged and modern without trying too hard. The cabin finally feels genuinely upscale for the brand, and the hybrid 4x4 setup gives it real versatility for daily driving and weekend adventures alike. Of course, there are still some potential downsides. Performance enthusiasts may want more power, and because Dacia remains focused on affordability, some materials and features may still feel less premium compared to established rivals. And for US viewers, availability remains the biggest question mark. But if Dacia or Renault ever brings something like this to America, it could completely change expectations for affordable SUVs. A practical hybrid with off-road capability, modern tech, strong fuel efficiency, and honest pricing. That combination is getting harder to find. This has been MOTORSCOPE, your source for tomorrow's cars today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And here's the big question. If the Dacia Bigster actually launched in the US, would you choose it over a Toyota RAV4 or Ford Bronco Sport?